So coming up next, your Cadet Sportsman. Here's how we'll line them up inside row one in the number 30, Ryan Rackley. Ryan with a qualifying lap of 40.100. Ryan starting this weekend second in the point standings. Been pretty solid. 4 top 5 finishes. Back-to-back second-place finishes for Ryan Rackley with a qualifying. Outside will be the number 18, your points leader, Dylan Gennaro. Starting this weekend second in the point standings. Been pretty solid. 4 top 5 finishes. Back-to-back second-place finishes for Ryan Rackley. Obviously trying to keep those tires wet, as we talked about it earlier. A lot of heavy rain has come through, had a couple rain delays, and the track has really dried out well. His sun did come out a little bit ago, but now starting to get overcast one more time. But most of these drivers on rain tires. Zachary Hollinshead in the 456 starting third. Andrew Willis starting fourth. Landon Kelly fifth in the 00. 12-lap pre-final. Green is out. We're underway. Again, staying to that inside, Ryan Rackley. Now Dylan going to cross over, going to challenge, coming off turn 2. Boy, they are tight. Off of turn number 2. Nose to tail into turn number 4. Again, these drivers, most of them must be on rain tires because they're trying to find any amount of water to keep those tires wet. And it is really dried out well now as they work their way through the sweeper turn. Good battle up front, nose to tail as they make their way through the Monza turn for the first time. Off the Monza turn they come down the straightaway. Good little battle again as I talked about it. Dylan Gennaro coming in this weekend as your points leader. Dylan's got the run to the inside. He'll head into turn number 1 with the lead. So lead change early on with Dylan Gennaro showing some force early on. He'll come off at turn number 2 with about a 2.5 cart length advantage. So Dylan Gennaro, your leader. Again, most of the track is definitely drying out now. There are just a couple small areas with some standing water. And right there by the entrance or exit from the grid area onto the track, it's just a little bit of standing water. But you look at the different color of the track, it is definitely changing. So Andrew Willis, one of those 2 drivers that chose to go with slicks, apparently did not work out for him. He slipped off. And again, the other driver, Zachary Hollinshead, in at 456, that might be working out for him. He just rolled a quick lap time of 42.904. And again, Zachary qualified with a 41.274. So one of those drivers on slicks looking to make a move, and he's definitely closing in on Ryan Rackley in that second spot. So showing the right choice there. So a good move. Again, he's going to pick up a little bit of water. And that hurt him. He just slipped and slid and goes off as he gets into that water just as I'm about to say it. The spot where there's a little bit of standing water, he's on slicks, and that may have just cost him. So both drivers electing to go to slick tires did not work out very well. I mean, it's just the entrance coming onto the track from the grid area where that water's at. So we'll correct that. It is Zachary Hollinshead who did stay out on slicks. So he will get the lead away. So that was Ryan Rackley in the 30, sliding off the track going on to turn number 5. So we'll correct that. So that was Ryan Rackley. Ryan on the rain tires, and again, running on a very dry track outside of that area by the entrance to the track. So it has worked out. Got to take that one back for Zachary Hollinshead in the 56. So that was the right call. Didn't work out very well for Andrew Willis. He found himself off the track in turn 1. And again, we'll look at some of the times again. Zachary Hollinshead now coming around. Behind him is Dylan Gennaro. Dylan on rain tires. And he is definitely tearing up them tires as they come into turn number 4. Zachary Hollins had quick time with a 42.356. He did that 1 lap ago. Dylan on rain tires. Dylan with a 43.045. So a little bit of a difference between those two drivers. And Dylan, he's going to try to find some water to keep those tires cool down, keep them wet. But right now he's about 3 kart lengths behind your leader. So kind of a philosophy on these two drivers as they go to the halfway point. Zachary Hollins said, as I said, on rain tires. You can see the difference when they come past the grid. Zachary on slicks, he weaves it up out of the water. Going through the water is Dylan Gennaro. It's a little philosophy on the approach of this race as the track is really drying out. You can see the color of the track a lot lighter now, pretty well around the entire track. Just by the entrance to the track coming out of the grid area is the only really standing water, basically the wet spot. As your leader now opening up a decent lead, over 0.6 of a second for Zachary Hollinshead. And talked about Dylan getting ready to head up to Utah for the Nationals after he checks out this weekend here in Jacksonville. And a little seat time here with the Florida Karting Championship Series. Dylan coming in this weekend as your points leader. 3 straight wins after opening up the season with a second-place finish. But he's moving right along. Zachary Hollinshead. Zachary making his 4th start of the season. His best finish 3rd, and he comes in today looking pretty darn good right now as he opens up a 1.2 second advantage. And I got to believe it's going to come down to the choice of tires right now. Zachary and his crew decided to go with slicks, and it looks like it's worked out for him as he'll come to the line. This will complete 8 laps this time by Dylan. You can see him. He's trying to find that water, keeping those tires cool. So watch him again. See his father giving a little bit of instruction, trying to pull him into that puddle of water by the entrance to the track from the grid area. So that may have bite him in the butt for Dylan Gennaro. Finally working our way is the Perella Jr., Rotex Jr. They're coming up next, last pre-final of the day. But Zachary Hollinshead moving right along. Good choice there by the crew. Dylan trying to find some water. Keep those tires cool, keep them wet. And he continues to drop back now. 3.8 second advantage for your leader, Zachary Hollinshead. Again, we saw Andrew Willis, also one of the other 2 drivers, to come out on slicks. That did not work out too well for him. Slid off the track. But moving right along, Zachary Hollinshead, his best lap time, 42.332 for Zachary Hollinshead. He did it the last lap, and he'll cross the line for 2 to go. And there it is, 2 to go for Zachary Hollinshead into turn number 4. Dylan trying to find any water he can to keep those tires cool, keeping them wet. And not going to help him out. He's going to be sitting there in that second spot, 4.9 seconds behind your leader. All going to come down to the tire choice. And it looks like the camp of Zachary Hollinshead made the right choice as he holds on now to almost a 5.2 second advantage. And he'll run down into turn number 1. Zachary Hollinshead. That's Zachary coming in this weekend, 6th in the point standings. Best finished, race weekend number 2. He finished 2nd. And right now he'll pick up the white flag, and 1 to go for Zachary Hollinshead in the 56. Lap number 11, 42.268 for your leader. And a commanding lead now for Zachary Hollinshead in the 56. Dylan Gennaro, again, Dylan coming out on the rain tires. Sits back into that second place position. There's Landon Kelly crossing a line in that 3rd spot. 11 laps in the books for him. There's Ryan Rackley. So here comes your winner in the number 56, Zachary Hollinshead, Cadet Sportsman winner. As he'll cross the line, Dylan Gennaro, the Ocala, Florida driver, will cross the line in that second spot as he crosses the line 7.6 seconds behind your leader. And a big gap again. Landon Kelly in a 00. Holding on to that third spot. He might be challenged coming into turn number 2 as Ryan Rackley gets on his bumper but going to run out of time. Landon Kelly crosses the line. Third, fourth, that'll be Ryan Rackley.